is the next episode of Looks Like Social Enterprise. I'm Kim Todd with Guide to the Good, and I'm very happy to be co-hosting this series with Nicole Dawe of the Community Foundation of Newfoundland Labrador. Here's Nicole. And what we are doing with this series is sharing the amazing things that established and up-and-coming social enterprises and social enterprise projects are doing throughout the province, with particularly the support of the Investment Readiness Program through the Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador and the federal government. So, okay, Nicole, why don't you give us a little bit more about this particular guest that we're having here today?
Yeah, I am super happy to. So Nicole Dawe, currently stewarding the Community Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador, which is an organization that facilitates charitable giving in the province, trying to center community and its perspectives and needs as much as we can in terms of how that happens. So I'm here today because we were really fortunate over the last number of years now to be a partner with the Investment Readiness Program, which is an initiative funded by the Government of Canada. And then there's a series of partners who help to facilitate that granting, and the Community Foundations of Canada is one of those, and we have the privilege of getting to facilitate that granting in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador on behalf of the overall network. So the Investment Readiness Program is focused on how to enhance earned revenue and the capacity for social finance in nonprofits and charities across the province. So we had a granting program that happened at the end of last year and then was evaluated by a bunch of really great community volunteers from across the province. And in addition to needs, obviously, that are in the community and how people are articulating their solutions, there was also an equity-centered perspective on it too, and lens. So we were really trying to make sure that we were investing and investing in equity deserving communities in the province and across the country. And I think that's one of the pieces why sort of the project with St. John's Status of Women Council really came in as strong in terms of how it was prioritized in that process, because the amazing things they're doing are working to both serve equity deserving folks every day in the work they do, and then this particular project is trying to help others to build their capacity in all of that. So first things first, though, we like to give folks a little bit of chance to get, a lot of folks probably know the Status of Women or the Women's Center here in St. John's, but just in case they don't, I don't know if you'd be able to tell us a little bit about it, Tania, including anything else you might want to add about your wonderful self in this work too.
Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for inviting me and us as the Status of Women Council to be here today, here virtually. Yeah, my name is Tania Heath. My pronouns are she, they. I am the training innovator at the St. John's Status of Women Council, and I was so happy to be involved in the IRP project. So a little bit about the St. John's Status of Women Council. It's a feminist organization that since 1972 is continually working to achieve equality and justice through political activism, community collaboration, and the creation of a safe and inclusive space for all women and non-binary people in the St. John's area. And the St. John's Status of Women Council is an umbrella organization, so you have probably heard it as the Women's Center most often. But we also have other programs. So we have Marguerite's Place Supportive Housing Program, Safe Harbor Outreach Project, which is SHOP, and the province's first and only managed alcohol program, so that's MAP. So the Women's Center, that's dedicated to providing free, person-centered, community-based programs delivered within a really safe and non-judgmental, caring environment for all women and non-binary people in and around St. John's. So that includes the free counseling that maybe folks have heard of before. Marguerite's Place, that's a supportive, independent housing program for women and non-binary people over the age of 30, living on a low or fixed income without dependents in their care. The Safe Harbor Outreach Project, so SHOP, that's the only sex worker advocacy program in Newfoundland and Labrador. So that will offer support, supplies, community, and advocacy for those who have engaged in sex work across our city. And our MAP program, that exists to offer the safe provision of alcohol on a person-centered basis, where participants can determine what substance use and support kind of looks like for them. And that has wraparound supports aimed at reducing physical and social harms associated with alcohol use. And really, this organization has kind of always offered support and programs on many issues. That includes social isolation, mental health, violence, marginalization, poverty, housing, trauma and system navigation. So all of these realities, they're fundamentally shaped by gender identity and gender-based oppression. All of our programs and services aim to provide opportunity for personal growth, empowerment, and social connection. And all of these programs are offered free of charge, and they are intentionally low barrier. So that's kind of an overview of the St. John's Status of Women Council. There's a lot of kind of programs mixed in there, and I guess our social enterprise will be maybe another one of those. But I'll leave it at that for now.
I just like to say that, as a person in the community observing, well, there's lots to be concerned about, obviously, but there's lots of really good things going on. And the things that you described then, show how these things are happening. So, thank you for all that amazing work. It's building stronger communities for everybody.
For sure.
And I guess that will strengthen again a little bit more with the social enterprise that you're coming up with.
Yeah, absolutely. So will I go into that now, the social enterprise piece? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm super excited to talk about this. So our concept is training as a social enterprise. So we were really excited to see the Investment Readiness Program pop up, and excited to apply, and obviously even more excited to be awarded the funding for this. So we applied for the Explore stream because we had an idea, but we didn't really have anything under it at all. So and how this idea came about is kind of since the St. John's Status of Women has existed for over 50 years now, the organization has been consulted for its knowledge and expertise on social issues that affect our community, specifically issues around gender disparity, community capacity building, gender analysis, skill building, things like that. So we thought this was a really natural fit for our organization to start offering paid training sessions as a social enterprise. We have really highly trained and skilled and knowledgeable staff who have lots of lived experience on many topics that are really important to healthy communities. And over the years, we've presented numerous critiques, reports, and workshops to the public, and that includes government, educational institutions, and community organizations. So we're really confident that our training, could benefit lots of people, individuals, organizations as a whole, businesses, and this kind of spans across all sectors. And we really do think that these trainings have the potential to make real change in our community and our province. So what we've been doing and what we want to develop more of is creating interactive, trauma-informed, evidence-based trainings that address social disparities at all levels. We think that when we empower people and enhance their skills and knowledge, it enables all of us to take responsibility and be accountable to ourselves and our communities around our collective safety and well-being. So we had this idea, right? This idea of training as a social enterprise and a concept of what could work. But we really needed the help to make sure it was feasible and getting an idea on kind of the best way to go about it. So what we used the funds from the Investment Readiness Program, we worked with an organization called Indigrow. Shout out to Indigrow. They helped us build and develop an official business and marketing plan for training as a social enterprise for the organization, and they kind of really helped us get our footing to really start this the right way. So yeah, that's kind of the spiel right there. I have more. I don't know.
Well, I think one of the things that I was curious about, and I noticed because I've seen some of these come out on social media, like for the chance for people to participate and get this training into their organizations or communities or whatever they are. I noticed that you had sort of specific areas or topics that you're kind of doing the training in. Did you want to talk about what those are?
Yeah, absolutely. So we currently have a few topics that we have developed and are kind of ready to go. So those topics include things like gender diversity, basics and best practices. I'll kind of do the official titles. Applying trauma-informed approaches at work and beyond. Empowering perspectives, integrating feminist principles. We have a harm reduction session, so that's kind of fundamentals for frontline staff. We have boundaries in care work, and we have a critical self-care session. So those are the ones we're running with right now, and that we have been delivering and facilitating. And we are hoping to fill more gaps by creating new sessions in the future. So we love to hear from people what they want to see. But again, yeah, we use the knowledge and the lived experience from our staff to kind of create these sessions, right? So it kind of goes hand in hand with that. But yeah, we're looking to grow that list for sure. That's where we're starting. So hopefully kind of that, could benefit some businesses out there as a starting point.
Yeah, and I would say, sorry, Kim, I know you're saying businesses, but I also think about boards in the nonprofit world, or like you said, educational institutions. Like, I feel like if you've got any group of like 5 to 10 people or more who have to function together, like they can benefit from going through this learning experience together.
100%. Yeah. I mean, any group out there, like these are really important skills and knowledge to have with you, both kind of as teams in the workplace and also individually, right? So, and that brings up another good point. Right now, we are just poised to deliver these to groups, but we also do want to do like these open calls later for if there are individuals in communities, or if a topic doesn't relate to kind of everybody at an organization, you can register like 1 or 2 people kind of at an individual rate instead of like that group rate that we're offering right now. So yeah, keep your eye out for that, because that's something that we're going to be kind of offering in the future as well. So we're excited about that.
Are these offered in person or online or both?
Both. Yeah. So it's virtually in person at our location. So we can host these up to a maximum of maybe 20 or 25 people in our program room at the Women's Center, or we can come to you or a location of your choice. So we're easy.
That's great. And the revenue that is earned through the sale of these training programs will support the programs of the Women's Center and the St. John Status Women Council, right? Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it'll go back into, sustaining the social enterprise as a project, but also, going back into our mandate and our mission and the programs that we currently offer, and hopefully expand,
Build a stronger community. Usually before we ask our featured guests to talk about their program, Nicole talks a little bit about what the Investment Readiness Program, what the focus areas are. So maybe you would just give your nod to that now, Nicole.
Thanks, Kim, for keeping us on track. I was too excited to hear from Tania. So the Investment Readiness Program, as I said, is really about earning or building on the capacity for earned revenue and for social finance, if it's something that fits in the future, for nonprofits and charities across the country. And it's really focused on 3 kind of different areas in terms of social, cultural, and environmental challenges that we are facing as people right now. And so this one is really I think encompassing a whole bunch of sort of social good and social challenges that the status moves forward all the time, but of course is really, I think, doing an amazing job of trying to build lots of people's capacity, because we know that this is everywhere. It's in our workplaces, it's in our families, it's just throughout our lives that we're dealing with all of these, systems that and mindsets that aren't serving us, whether we are really conscious of them or not. And I appreciate how your training can help folks in a way that feels safe to move through that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so encouraging. So it's like, okay, maybe we'll be okay. Maybe we'll be okay.
We'll all go through the training and get that much better at being humans together.
Yes. Yeah. The next thing. Oh, okay. So what is the call to action? What can people who are watching right now and later do to support your efforts and get the benefit of your efforts?
Well, I mean, I think the obvious call to action here is if you are looking for training, so community organizations, businesses, or even individuals, reach out to us and book with us. Use us as your training provider. Like I said, we have a few sessions we're offering now, but we're going to be growing that list. So, you know, book with us now, book with us in the future. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That is a good call to action. Right. Oh, so we always like to clue up with a little fun fact, because the Community Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador is a key driver in all of these social enterprise actions, and they are a bit of an undersung hero in the community throughout the province. Really, they show up in all kinds of different ways. So maybe today Nicole is going to tell us another fun fact about some of the things that we probably see that we don't know the Community Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador is behind.
Yeah, and I'm going to switch this up from what we talked about earlier, because one of the things I really wanted to share has to do with our national network. So we are a part of a really amazing network of over 200 community foundations across Canada, which is helped to be stewarded by the Community Foundations of Canada. And this week, the Community Foundations of Canada released their National Vital Signs report. So we steward NL vital signs here in the province with the Harris Center. There's also national vital signs that really look across the country at things. And this one focused on belonging, engagement, and well-being. And I think it's really fits in with what we've been talking about with Tania, because what it really showed is that we have a dropping sense of belonging, and that people who are more at risk because of various identities that they hold in terms of how society isn't readily supporting them as it needs to be because of those identities are so much more at risk to not be connected in their community, and we know that that's important. So a couple of the things that really stood out for me was that people who are financially insecure people who are financially insecure, 31% of them don't have someone to depend on, versus 8% of people who are financially secure. Or in parents and single parent households, 50% of two-parent households feel like they have a close community, as opposed to 32% of people who are in a single parent situation. And then back to some of what Tania's hopefully helping to root out. People who have experienced high discrimination, again, are 22% less likely to feel like they have someone they can really depend on. So there's a lot of challenges that we are moving through, and again, the ability to know and understand each other more, and the things that we might be going through, and hold more of those stories that I think you'll be able to get from going through this training is really important to having whole individuals, but also whole communities that really feel like they belong and can pull for one another.
Yeah. Yes. So register for the training. Register. That is awesome. I think that those are the things that we wanted to talk about today. So on behalf of God is Good, I would like to say thank you so much to Tania for the work that you're doing with the status of women, the Women's Center, and for being here today. And of course, to co-host Nicole Dawe and the Community Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador for all that you do.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah. Okay. So this looks like social enterprise. Nicole and I have talked to, I think this is I can't count, 5th or 6th conversation that we've had with amazing people doing amazing things throughout the province. You can follow all of the stories at www.guidetothegood.looks-like-social-enterprise. You can search for that, or look in the drop-down menu, and you'll find amazing stories from a whole bunch of different people. That is continuing to grow, and we can look forward to our next one which is going to happen in November. And again, I can't remember dates. I don't know.
Yeah,
No pressure. No pressure.
I think it's on November 22nd, I believe, if that is a Wednesday. Yep, and we're going to be hearing about the Great Northern Peninsula Community Place.
Woo! Yay! Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. And to all the people watching now and later, book the training.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you all.
Thanks. Bye.